Hello, my name is Pat Welch with Revolution Group. I'm going to spend a few minutes with you today to share some of our experience integrating with Plex Smart Manufacturing Cloud. Who we are, we're a technology services firm specializing in managed services, manufacturing ERP, and Salesforce services. We have long-standing successful relationships with Plex and Salesforce, as well as strategic partnerships with Boomi and Configure One. We were recently nominated Plex Partner of the Year. We offer a full array of services to multiple manufacturing industries. I'm going to focus on integration in this presentation. Over the years, we've integrated numerous applications with Plex supporting our customers' best-of-breed technologies. Common integration technologies include HRIS application focused on payroll and human capital management, point solutions on the shop floor, purpose-built to instruct or control machines like laser cutting, CNC, or batch control applications. In this discussion, I will focus on the integrations we've created between Plex and Salesforce and Plex and Configure One CPQ application. Before I get into integration details, I'd like to share a little background on the business use case for context. Salesforce is considered best of breed for sales activity, pipeline management, marketing automation, and the overall view of the customer engagement. Plex Manufacturing Cloud is considered best of breed for all things manufacturing execution and ERP. This is a simple overview of the data that are shared between Plex and Salesforce. The big goal with the integration was share enough data to complete the view of the customer engagement in Salesforce. We also wanted to simplify the user's experience by sharing enough data between applications so they could perform their daily jobs in either Salesforce or Plex, depending on their role in the company. Plex Smart Manufacturing Platform is focused on activities and transactions relevant to capturing the manufacturing moment, as shown in the top section of this chart. There are multiple methods to interact with Plex data, including EDI and reporting tools. For both integration projects in this discussion, we rely heavily on APIs and some ODBC connections to create, update, and access the Plex data platform. In the Plex Salesforce integration, we connected to Plex primarily using APIs. Plex has a growing set of RESTful APIs as well as JSON APIs accessed via secured connection. Security is handled with basic authentication using an encrypted username and password controlled by Plex. Let me navigate a few points in the Plex application that are useful references for API and database documentation. So here we have the Plex developer portal, which offers you a good getting started guide as well as API documentation. So if I drill into some API documentation that we used in this project as an example, customers API, update customers, you see the developer portal has relevant information relevant to that API, such as the resource URL, URL parameters, sample code for the request, as well as schema of the request. And then if we scroll down, we see similar sample code and schema for the response structure. Standard APIs were available to support most of this project. However, there were a few integration points that were unique to this customer, in which case we authored a custom API to meet the customer's needs. In some Salesforce integration projects, we've transferred large sets of data from Plex to Salesforce using the ODBC connection. In these projects, our customer wanted considerable amount of business intelligence information related to the customer engagement viewable in Salesforce. If you have a question about which database tables and fields are relevant for your integration, we found the database schema is very logical. It aligns well with the application user interface. Plus, as I'm going to show here, there are additional tools in Plex's application that provide information about the entire database. So if I navigate to the platform area of the application, you see a list of databases, all of the Plex databases. If I drill into the sales database, I'm going to search for shipper. This allows me to drill into shipping activity, or the database, the tables that capture the shipping activity, and export key information about this database table, including fields, their SQL variables, indices, and constraints. Also in this area of the application, when we create a custom JSON data source or API, we can find those listed here, as well as JSON APIs created by Plex, and drill into the details of those APIs, showing inputs and outputs, as well as sample request information. I'm not going to cover the details on the Salesforce connection, other than we're connecting to Salesforce using their object level APIs. So let's get into some more details on the integration layer itself. There are only two applications involved, Plex and Salesforce, connected cloud to cloud. And Salesforce is the data hub or system of record for most of the integrated data. For these main reasons, we used Force.com to build the integration layer natively in Salesforce. In doing so, we're utilizing Apex classes, custom objects, and metadata in Salesforce, including custom fields to relate to Plex records. And of course, Force.com has robust workflow automation that we used in the integration. We're sharing data both asynchronously and on a scheduled basis, as well as in real time, triggered by events and actions. There is business logic built into or supported by the integration. For example, controlling the behavior of order entry in Salesforce based on credit holds in Plex. Also, to note, authoring the integration in Force.com did require us to create event monitoring and logging, which is typically standard functionality found in an iPaaS solution like Boomi. Let's move on to the next business case. This overview is a little bit more complicated. In this business case, we're sharing data like customers, parts, orders across multiple systems. The lead is matured to quote and final order in Salesforce using Configure One technology and Configure One's packaged integration to Salesforce. The confirmed order is then handed off to Plex for manufacturing execution and fulfillment. This integration project involves multiple endpoints and considerably more business logic. As a result, introducing Boomi's iPaaS technology makes the most sense for the integration layer. Boomi has event monitoring, logging, and notifications as standard functionality, and minimal coding is required to build the integration. The integration logic is created using Boomi Flow. I have a part integration pictured here. In this integration project, we have flows scheduled to execute asynchronously. We also expose some of those flows as Boomi API for real-time integration. We're using the same Plex connection methods as described previously. The integration layer logic determines system of record, as well as which instance of Plex or Configure One should be updated. We can see other examples of integration logic by walking through the order flow. When the Boomi API hears of a new order, we retrieve the pertinent order information, perform multiple existence checks against Plex, then conditionally create and update records accordingly. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to call or contact me via email or Teams call at your convenience. Thank you so much.